Hey guys and gals in YouTube world, how y'all doing today? It is Saturday, October the 17th in the year 2021. So we're really counting down now to the end of the year. It's looking, I got my hair cut about a week ago. Oh, it's one of the worst haircuts I ever got. I had to come home and trim my bangs, had to cut some here and here. It was just such a sloppy job, which means that business lost my business. Next time I get a haircut, I'll be going someplace new. So anyway, mud water. I drink mud water most days, but anyway, I digress. So, question is, how much is enough? Okay, I referenced in yesterday's video Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone has become a billionaire. Now, should we all have that goal? I don't think it's possible that every single human being can become a billionaire. Unless we fast forward in life with inflation, eventually everybody will be a billionaire. Because it's kind of like being a millionaire. When I was a kid, a millionaire was like the status thing, you become a millionaire. Now, there are more millionaires in this country than any time in history, okay? Because it's not as high of a level anymore to become a millionaire, okay? So anyway, how much is enough? I watch, like I said yesterday, Grant Cardone has 10,000 rental units. I watch other YouTube channels at times where they got 5,000 rental units or several hundred rental units, but they want to keep buying more and more. Okay, so how much is enough? That's a question that only you can answer, not me. I can't answer for you. We all live a different life. We live in different parts of the country or perhaps in the world. So we got to figure out for ourselves how much is enough. But yet, if you want to become financially independent, where you can leave the workforce and live off your investments, you want to cushion it a bit because there is inflation. And will your investments or your pension or whatever you have, will it keep up with inflation? So you want to be set, by the time you're financially independent, you want to be set where you have enough to live on, but you got a little bit more. And you want to be primed where your investments can keep growing over time. So over time, you can become wealthier, okay? I'll tell you a plan that you've heard me talk about in prior videos. You've heard me mention I have 25 rentals, okay? My 25 rentals, out of those 25, 2 of them are in self-directed IRAs. All right, so we cannot access that money in there until we're 59 and a half years of age. Okay, we're not there yet. All right, so we have 23 rentals, but I'm just, for easy math, I'm gonna say 25 that are paying rent now, okay? But let's say a person could follow my copy and paste, as Millennial Mike will say. Copy and paste what I do, because I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to tell you stories, okay? But say you can start by buying your first rental, you buy your second rental, you buy your third, you buy your fourth, you buy your fifth, all right? And I know if you bought 0, you're thinking, who is this guy talking about buying 5, okay, or buying 25? But trust me, once you get going, it gets easier. You can get more. And I'll talk in future videos about how, and I've already talked about how I did it, but there's multiple paths to take to get more, okay? But let's say a person gets 25 rentals. And who knows how much time it takes them. It might take them 5 years, it might take them 10 years. We'll see. But let's say each rental was paying $250 a month positive cash flow. Okay? $250 a month positive cash flow times 25, it comes out to an annual salary of $75,000. Okay? Now, I think I've discussed a little bit, and I'm not a CPA, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not an attorney. But I have probably mentioned, or you've heard Tell mention about real estate has good tax advantages. You can reduce your income tax. So if you're getting $75,000 from your rentals, it's not like you're a W-2 employee getting $75,000. You're paying much less in tax than you would if you were working, earning a paycheck, okay? So you're able to put more money in your pocket, all right? Let's say, along with getting 25 rentals and $75,000, let's say someone is working in the government. They're in the military, they're working for a city, a state, they're a police officer, firefighter, government employee, and they can get a pension. And let's say they retire when they're 50, they can get a pension. And let's just say, for easy math, that pension is about $35,000. All right, so if they're making $75,000 from their rental, now their pension is $35,000, that'd be $110,000, okay? Is $110,000 enough? It might be. Depends on where you live at in this country, it might be more than enough. Or if you were one of those high-paid professionals, you know, a doctor or a lawyer or a small business owner, $110,000 might be a pay cut for you, so you need more, okay? Because you don't want to go, you want your standard of living to go up when you retire, not to go down, okay? That's my goal. My goal is keep raising my standard of living as time goes on. All right, so let's say though that with your 25 rental properties, you bought them all at great deals, under market value, which means then it takes time, but you can raise rent over time. You can force appreciation. What is forcing appreciation? Forcing appreciation is upgrading the property so you can get a higher rent, okay? So let's say it takes a period of time. I don't know how long because we're all different, but you can effectively double your positive cash flow by increasing rents. Because if you increase rent $200 and you were making $250 a month positive cash flow, and you increase rent $200, that's another $200. That's $450 a month, okay? So over time, you double your cash flow. We're doing easy math here. So if you double your cash flow in 25 rentals, now you're at $150,000 a year. And you got your pension of $35,000 that we talked about before. So you're at $185,000 a year. Is that enough? Again, it depends on who are you, what part of the country do you live in, what kind of life do you want to live. But again, your tax advantages, you're paying less tax with real estate than if you had worked a job making $185,000 a year, because real estate has tax advantages. But now let's say that you have a net worth of $1 million. So you're an accredited investor. That can open up other avenues for you. Doors will open. It's the games that the rich people play to keep the little guy out, okay? But once you're accredited, you can access other types of investments. All right, you've heard me mention both oil drilling and mineral rights, and I'm not going to talk into detail on either of them. This is kind of an overview to whet your appetite for what you can do, hopefully by seeing what I have done. All right, let's say now you put investments in both mineral rights acreage and in oil drilling. And let's say those investments, well, out of those two investments, they both have tax advantages. Both of them with their monthly income that they will pay, you can write off 15% of that income. So you pay tax on 85% of the income, okay? So you can understand it correctly. If you're making $100,000 a year and you did not pay tax on 15%, you're paying tax on $85,000 a year. So you're just not being, it's like getting your paycheck and you get to write off a portion without paying tax on it. So you write off 15% of your monthly income. But then with one of those investments, the oil drilling, when you make the investment, you will get what's called a K1, usually in around March of the following year. And they will put the figure on there. It's because oil gets special benefits. You can look in the IRS tax code, and I'm not an attorney, I'm not a CPA, I'm not none of that. But you can look it up and you see oil drilling has tangible cost, and the government allows investors to write it off because we want people to invest in oil, because by getting oil, we provide energy for this country, okay? Even though we're going green, we still need oil. So let's say someone put an investment of $25,000 into oil drilling. The way it worked out for one investor I know is that when they did their taxes, they could write out a $25,000 investment, they wrote off $20,501. It was taken off of their income. That investor has never had this happen before. What investment can you make where you just subtract roughly 80% of that investment off your taxes? Okay, and the remaining, in that example, the remaining $4,500 that wasn't written off can still get written off over the next couple years. Okay, so the full investment will get written off on your taxes. All right, so let's now say that an investor puts more money into the oil drilling. So they will get a larger write-off next year, okay? That's another advantage. You're paying less taxes. That means it's more money for your pocket. There's also higher monthly cash flow. Let's say the monthly cash flow now, it starts ramping up as they open up more wells and they clean the wells, and they're getting oil and they're getting natural gas and they're getting water out. As they start increasing that, the cash flow will increase. This investor I know has gotten 4 monthly checks so far. The 4 monthly checks, the first one, how do we want to do fingers? We'll play a little bit. The first one was like 3.9%. Not that great. As an investor, I want to get more than 3.9%. The following month, it was 4.9%. Okay. It's getting a little better. Still not that great, but it's getting better. The next one was 5.8%. Okay. Now we're still getting better. You know, it's not too bad. And the fourth one was 7.65%. All right, now we're talking. We're getting up there, It's still not what this investor wants, but we're getting close to double digits. And as an investor, the investor I'm talking about is Mazske. Mazske wants at a minimum double digits. He doesn't want single digits. He wants double digits so he can grow his wealth. Okay? But the expectations are that the return will go from 7.65% over time, like over the next 12 to 14 months, up to 10%, 12%, 15%, 25%, 37%, possibly 50%. If we're really fortunate, which I don't count on this, it may not ever get to 50%, but maybe it goes to 75%. You just don't know exactly how it's going to play out. It all depends on the price of oil, the price of natural gas, and other things. It all depends. But let's say then that with this oil drilling company, in a year or so, they will sell a portion of their land to return a 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x type return off of the investor's investment. That's going to be a chunk of money. No matter how much the investor puts in there, say it's $25,000. 4x return, they get $100,000. Get $100,000 in 12 to 14 months. That's not a bad return. That's a pretty good return. That's a very good return. So if somebody can copy and paste this thought process, this plan, it may work. And as Mazske, I'm not telling you to copy and paste this, but I'm trying to whet your appetite to figure out what you can do. Formulate your own plan. Don't copy me. Formulate your own plan. Figure out what you can do, because over time, things will change. Mazske may be investing in oil drilling and mineral rights now, but in 2030, as they're putting more of a cap on the carbon output, maybe he will change. Maybe he will invest in solar or something different. Who knows? Or maybe, since it'll take society several decades to wean itself off of oil, and Mazke's not a young guy, he may keep investing in oil for the rest of his life. We shall see. All right? Enough is enough. All right, next week I'm going to try to get into some of the nuts and bolts of investing. Like I will try to talk to you about how to run the numbers on a rental property. All right, and we'll see how it all plays out. All right, the weekend is winding down for you guys that work the Monday to Friday type job. Once you're like me, every day's a Saturday. All right, so y'all take care. Mazske is signing out.